a single tree. So random forest, it's a forest. So collection of trees, you can take a best one. So decision tree as well as random forest. At last, some of the metrics like confusion matrix, precision, recall, something like that. So it's a small plan of R programming. So starts with a small intro on RStudio. So all are more familiar about the buzzword which is called as R. So it's a programming language. So R is a programming language, something like Java, C, C++, something like that. R is also a programming language and which provide a framework, that is software environment for statistical analysis and graphical representation and reporting. So the major theme of R programming, which used for statistical analysis, so data processing. So it's an excellent tool for data processing, statistical analysis. Then always the statistical data which display in a visual representation, something like a graph, then only it's easy for user understandability. So R also provide the same visual representation. Then user if need a report, then it's also provide the format of reporting tool. So R programming, which is a framework which used to provide statistical analysis, graphical representation, and reporting. So it's an open source software. It's completely freely available in internet. So it's completely open source software, which supported for Linux operating system, Windows operating system, as well as Mac. So this R programming, which supported both Linux, Windows, as well as Mac operating system. The name behind R, why it will be named as R. The R programming which is introduced by two people, one which will be called as Robert, another one which will be called as Ross. So because of the people, their first name, first letter, R. So the programming which will be named as R. So Robert as well as Ross, their first letter starts with R. So because of that, they named the programming language as R programming. So it will be owned by Bell Laboratories. So R programming is owned by Bell Laboratories, but it's a GNU public license, completely open source. It's a small overview on R. So R programming, it's a framework for statistical analysis. It's a framework completely for statistical analysis. So the basic prerequisite. So anyway, the basic programming knowledge is enough because all those library functions are in high level. That's a rich text library. So it's very easily understandable. Just a function name along with a parameter. It's enough. So the basic features of R. So anyway, each and every programming language, all those programming languages are having these features, but R something different. So it's a well-developed language. So it's very simple because even a 4-line of code is enough for performing something called as random forest or SVM or any kind of algorithm. Just 4 lines, just a single line. Actually, 4 lines in the sense, 1 line for reading input, the second line for pre-processing, the third line, even a single line for processing your environment, something called random forest stuff, a single function which perform random forest. Even a single call, something called as linear regression, LMF. So which can call linear regression. So single line is enough. So it's a well-developed and effective programming language, which include looping statement, user-defined function, regression, etc., etc. IO facilities too. So it's an excellent programming language, which is very easy to understand. So in addition to that, which has effective data handling mechanism. The R programming, which can handle data as well as storage in an effective way. So in addition to that, which can have some additional data types named as array, list, vector, matrix, factor, etc., etc. So which have several collection of different calculation and operators. So at last R also provide a graphical representation via bar chart, pie chart, something different plotting representation. So this is a basic feature of R programming. So several set of programming, even Python also providing the same. So it's supported for all kind of process. Similar way, R also do the same. So anyway, now we are directly entering into the installation of R programming. So the R programming, there are 2 parts. One which will be named as R, the second one which is named as RStudio. One which will be named as R, The second one, which is named as R Studio. So R is a developer kit. R Studio is IDE. R is a developer framework. Something called as JDK is a kit. JCreator or Eclipse is IDE. So similar way, R is a developer framework. So initially you can download R. Just Google it. Then you can download the software. Download R for Windows. Because my operating system is Windows. So I'm downloading R for Windows. But it's available for all the flavors, something like Linux, Mac, etc. etc. So now I'm downloading R. After downloading, it's a normal process. Just double click on that R.exe. So the R software was installed if required. Otherwise, R software all itself, they provide a GUI. R software itself, it provide a GUI, graphical user interface, supported for user. If required, user can install R Studio. Otherwise, even R is enough. So R, it's a base framework. R Studio is IDE. Now, so based on your machine version, if your machine was 32-bit, you can download R 32-bit. If machine version was R64-bit, so your machine version was 64-bit, so you can download 64-bit. Just double click and install the R software. Fine. Yeah, okay, my machine is Windows, so no problem. If you are using Linux, use yum install or rpm install, depends on your flavors. So you can install the packages. So now the R was installed. So just download the software and install the R software in your PC. Just download R software and then just double click the exe. Then the complete R software was installed in your machine. So it's very easy. So even for afternoon session, but the programming was very, very easy. Just for 2 or 3 slides, I will explain the base and then entering into linear regression and logistic regression, at large decision tree and random forest. Very, very easy programming. So please plan carefully. So yeah, the R programming, which offer 2 formats. One which will be called as command prompt. The R programming which offer 2 formats. The first format for command prompt. So even you can type via CLI, command language interface. So you can type anything via CLI. The second component, which is called a GUI, graphical user interface. So directly you can type a program as a script. R is a script programming. So directly you can type everything as a script. Then you can execute, the program was executed. That's fine. There are 2 options. So if you are working on Linux, so your prompt is like that. If you are in a user, otherwise if you are in a root user, your prompt is in hash. So you can just type R, then automatically which entering into R prompt. So automatically which entering into prompt of R prompt, something like this. This is R prompt. So please view here. This is a prompt of R. So actually the Linux prompt, $ for user, hash for root user. You can type R, then automatically your prompt which will be changed something like this. So if you are working on Linux, if you are working on Windows, just double click on that R shortcut. Just double click on that R shortcut. Then it will open the command prompt, something like that. So just for base, all are very much familiar about programming. So it's very base, but actually R programming is simple. Each and everything was single line statement. So base. So starts from the first line. So there are 2 options, either for tends to or equal to. So I'm using this option. So my string tends to equal to hello world. So the my string is a variable. Please, my string is a variable which hold a string as hello world. So this is for our programming. So very easy. There is no header files are needed. So directly you can type the command on CLI. My string tends to hello world. So hello world is a string which stored in a variable my string. Just I'm calling the method print. Just I'm calling the method print of my string. Print is a method. We are passing a parameter my string. So just the data was printed like this. Hello world. It's a first data, so it's printed in 1. So now it's not required here. So it prints the data hello world. So my string is a variable which stores a value as hello world, print my string of, so which print the text as hello world. This is for basic R program. So this is for basic R program. There is no need for specifying data type. So it's automatically take the data type. There is no need for specifying data type. Please. Yeah, same thing. Again, I'm repeating the same. So my string hello world, print my string. So it will print the result as my string. Now, if needed, you save the script as something a.r. The file is saved in extension a.r. The R programming, the R script is saved in extension .r. The R programming, the program R script is saved in extension .r. So I am writing these two lines. This is all are very much familiar about this hash. Hash is used for comment. Hash is used for single comment. Yes, hash is used for single comment. So my first program just for comments. So my string hello world, print my string. The file is saved in extension a.r or test.r. Then if needed, you can compile via, execute via R script. R script is a markup. R script is a markup or command which choose to execute a R program. R script is a command which choose to execute R program. So R script test.r. Otherwise, the menu there is an option for execute the program. So you can execute the script. So it's fine. This is for very base of R program. So just a string hello world is stored on a variable my string. Then print my string, which print the data hello world. The file is saved in extension .r. Then you can execute either using a command or script. Otherwise, use the menu, something called as run or run on. Use that menu, run or run on. Now the second base. So it's again a base. So anyway, all programming languages, because R programming, it's very much easy for supported for data analytics. So anyway, which also has some different limitations. So it's supported data types, vector, list, matrices, array, factor, and data frame. So data frame, which is one of the excellent option which available in R programming. Data frame is an excellent option which used to provide a complete data entity, something like a grid, which provide a grid option. So which provide an entire grid option. So these are the excellent data types. So the excellent frequently used data types in R programming, named as vectors, list, matrices, array, factors, and data frames. So excellent data types. So variables, yeah, all are very much familiar about variable. So here also the variable name also same. So variable name which supported for a list collection of letters, numbers, along with underscore and a dot symbol. So here which support dot symbol. So it has letters, numbers, dot and underscore. So variable underscore name to dot. So dot also supported in R programming. Yes, percentage which is not supported. So this string was invalid. Then if a variable name starts with number, which is not accepted, so invalid. If variable name starts with dot, which is accepted, but if dot second letter is number, which is not accepted. So dot is accepted. In between dot is also accepted. Underscore is accepted. This is not accepted. Dot next a number. Dot next a number, which is not accepted. So a variable here, one and only thing which supported underscore and dots. All other things are similar to something called as normal programming language. So R programming is support dot and underscore in a variable name. So if it starts with underscore, which is not supported, invalid. Okay. So in addition to normal programming, R variable will support dot letter. So A dot B, it's a variable. Okay. A dot B is a variable. Here dot is not an object. Dot is not an object operator. Here dot is a letter inside a variable. Okay, something like that. So this is only different in R program. So now a variable assignment. So variable assignment a little bit different. Please listen carefully. So variable assignment. So either equal operator or tends to operator. That's not a problem. So variable dot one. Variable dot one is it's a first variable equal to constant, that is C of 0, 1, 2, 3. Variable dot 1 equal to C of 0, 1, 2, 3. So the array is stored in a variable named variable dot 1. So variable dot 1 is a variable which is an array variable which hold the value 0, 1, 2, and 3, which is stored in a name variable dot 1, which is a pointer which marked with an array 0, 1, 2, 3, which holds 4 constant elements. So same way, variable dot 2, which is a constant element which hold 2 values, one which will be called as lang, another one which will be called as r. So variable dot 2, which is a variable which choose to pointing two string variable. The string variables represented inside double quotes or single quotes. So variable dot 2 which choose to pointing lang and r. So here this is also another option. C of 2, 1. So which is stored in variable dot 3. Anyway, it's also same. So variable dot 3 which is stored true as well as 1. So these are the different kind of variable assignment available in R program. These are the different kind of variable assignment available in R programming. Now, so here there is an excellent option. So if the variable was not needed for properly optimizing memory. So if you are deleting a variable, there is an option named as rm. Rm is a method. Rm is remove something. Rm is a method which choose to remove that variable from a memory. So remove of variable dot 3. After that, you can print the variable which display the error message. The object was not found. Here, each and everything. R is a pure object-oriented programming language. So each and every variables are named as objects. R is a pure object-oriented language. Each and everything which is called as objects. So rm is a method. Rm is a method or function. Method. Anyway, it's object-oriented programming, so which is called as method. So we choose to remove that memory variable. Next. So always, which is similar to all other kind of programming language, which also has all those operator like arithmetic operator, plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo operator, relational operator, less than, greater than, something like that, logical operators, assignment operators, miscellaneous operator, all kind of things which is supported in R program. So something like all other programming language R also support all kind of operators too. Now, decision making. So always decision making, the if condition as well as looping. These are enough. Yeah, programming language is concerned first for variable declaration, second for assigning values, third for conditional statement, operators, okay, conditional statement, looping statement, and then built-in functions. These are the enough. These are the things needed for a programming language. So R is something different programming language, which also comprising of if statement, if else statement, switch statement, which also comprising of if else and switch statement. Please see this example. So please, so X tends to what is truth. So X is an array which comprising of 3 strings, one which will be called as what, another one which will be called as is, another one which is named as truth. So X is an array, the array which hold, X is an array, the array which hold the collection of data. 1 second. So X is an array which comprising of collection of data, what is truth. So this array which comprising of what is truth. So if truth, T caps, it's a case sensitive, so not T small, T caps, in In this operator, we choose to check whether it's available in this array or not. So truth in X, truth is found, else truth is not found. So in this operator, whether it's in the array or not, it's used to match whether it's in the given array or not. So it's for if truth in X, otherwise A less than B, something like that. So if else operator which is similar in all other programming language. Then next, looping statement. Please listen carefully. Looping statement. Second one. First one for if conditional statement. Second one for looping statement. Please see this basic program. So V is a variable which is comprising of C, hello and loop. So which is two string, one which will be called as hello, the second one which will be called as loop. So the string which will be, the array which will be marked with a variable V. So now another variable which will be called as CNT, which is equal to 2. Which is equal to 2. Now there is a basic array. The looping statement repeats either for, while, which is also available. In addition to that, our program which comprising of another one looping statement which is named as repeats. So repeat of print V. So repeat of print V. So V which is printed for infinite times. So hello loop, hello loop, hello loop printed for infinite time. But here there is a condition. CNT equal to CNT plus 1. So the count equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. etc. So count which will be incremented. If the count is greater than 5, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 4 times, that's not a problem. If the count equal to 2, which print hello loop. If count equal to 3, which will print hello loop. If count equal to 4, which will print hello loop. If count equal to 5, which will print hello loop. If count equal to 6, if the count equal to 6, if it's greater than 5, there is a break statement. The break statement which exits from repeat loop. The break statement which exits from repeat loop. So B equal to C of hello comma loop. So the array which comprising of two variable hello and loop. Then count equal to 2. Repeat of print V. So which will be printed hello loop, hello loop, hello loop. If the count which is greater than 5. So 2, 3, 4 and 5. So 4 times which will print hello loop. So this is a basic repeat example, basic looping statement. This is a basic method of using looping statement in our programming. Now, there is a while loop. So while loop which is similar. So V equal to C of hello comma while loop. Count equal to 2. While count less than 7. Count less than 7 print V. So count equal to 2. Count equal to 3. Count equal to 4. Count equal to 5. Count equal to 6. If count equal to 7, it does not enter into that. If count less than 7, which enter into the loop. If count equal to 7, which will exit from the loop. So this is for basic while loop. It's similar to all other programming languages. So which is common. So all other programming language or which also support a while statement. Similar to all other programming language or is support while loop. Then now a for loop. Yeah, letters of functions. So letters of 1 to 4. So first letter is A, B, C, D. So letters of A, B, C, D. So I in V. So first variable I in V. So print I. So 4 letters. So I in V print I. So first letter is A, B, C and D. If you are letters 1 to 5. So it will print till E. If you are printing letters to 10. So print something like that. So similar way you can print collection of letters. For loop, there is an operator called as in. In this operator, we choose to check whether the statement, we choose to point whether this I in that array or not. We choose to point whether the I in that array or not. This is the basic for loop. So introduction to R programming. So R is an excellent object-oriented programming language. We choose for statistical analysis. We choose to provide best and graphical representation or visual representation. It's also supported for reporting. In that R programming, we need two tools, one which will be called as R, another one which will be called as R Studio. After installing the software, which is supported for Windows, Linux, as well as Mac, after installing the software, the basic of R variable assignment, and then R operators, then R conditional statement. Now we are entering into R looping statement. So looping statement, one for repeat, second one for while, third one for loop. Looping statement, one for repeat, second one for while, third one for loop. Now we are entering into the fourth one. The loop control statement. The loop control statement. So yeah, always we are very much familiar about break. So same thing. So hollow loop. So if the count is greater than 5, which will break that loop. Yes. If the break which will be changed into, I think in C programming, there are two statements, one which will be called as break, another one which will be named as continue. So if the break which is changed into continue, then it omit only the particular statement. If it's greater than here, if it's equal, thing like that, the condition was equal, then which omit 5, all other cases which executes. It omit 5, all other cases it executes. Here, the continue statement, which replaced by the statement which is called as next. The continue statement, which replaced by the new statement in R programming, which is named as next. So continue, which replaced by the new statement called as next. Yeah. Please see the example. For I in B, B is a list of variables. These are letters lies between V equal to or V tends to letters of letters of 1:5. Something like, you can think like that. So I in B, if I equal to D, if I equal to A, which print A? If I equal to B, which print B? If I equal to C, which print C? If I equal to D, which omit the loop and continue the loop, which omit the loop, which won't print, but which continue the loop. So which will print E, which will print F, which omit D. D is not. So there are two statements. There are two loop control statements. These two statements are called as loop control statement. One which will be called as break, another one which will be called as next. So in C programming, the next which will be called as continue. Here there is a statement which is called as next. Now R function. R is an excellent rich text library. R program which comprising of excellent rich text library, a collection of built-in function. So it's very, very easy for performing data analytics, regression, correlation, covariance, etc. etc. Which perform all kind of operation in a single click. So single markup call. So R having a collection of built-in function. In addition to that, it's easy for creating your user-defined function too. It's easy for creating user-defined function too. So function name tends to function of arguments, open curly brace, close curly brace. Inside that you can type function bar. So the basic syntax of R function name tends to function open parenthesis. Inside that you can specify all the arguments, open curly brace, close curly brace. Inside that you can type the overall function part. So this is the basic R function representation. This is the basic view of R function representation. So the function component, function name, arguments, function body, and return value. So function name, it's the name of the function. Arguments, you can pass what are how many number of arguments it's needed for processing that particular task. Function body, you can perform the collection of statements. So return value, if needed, a function can return a result. So this is the basic components of a function. Normal. These are the things are normal. So in addition to that, R programming environment, that is R Studio. One second. The R kit, which comprising of a very large list text library. So all those functions it's supported for data analytics, data science, in an excellent way. So R programming, which having a very rich text library, which supported for data analytics. So some of the basic function, anyway, several functions are available. I'm giving some of the basic function. The first one, which is called a sequence. The first one, which is named as sequence. So SEQ. So print sequence of 32, 44. Print sequence of 32, 44. So it will print the numbers between 32 to 44. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, etc. 44. So it will print the numbers. Sequence of 1, 100. Sequence of 1, 100. So it will print the number lies between 1 to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 100. So print or assign to a variable. Now mean of 25 to 82. So it choose to find the mean average of 25 to 82. Then sum of, so choose to add the summation, average of, etc. etc. There are numerous number of built-in functions. R provides a very rich text library. So R programming environment which offers a very rich text library. So these functions are very much helpful for data analytics. So in addition to that, a user can create their own function that will be termed as UDF, user defined function. So user can create their own function that is called as user defined function. So create a function to print squares of a numbers in a sequence. Okay, fine. So I'm writing a function, the function which is called as new dot function. So the name of the function was new dot function. I'm writing a new function, the function which will be named as new dot function, which tends to function of a. I'm passing a variable as a, parameter as a. So for I in 1 to a, for I in 1 to a, 1 colon a in the sense 1 to a, 1 colon 10 in the sense 1 to 10. Then print b equal to I square. So 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. I'm passing 6 as my input. So 1 to 6. So 16, 25 and 36. So colon, you choose to sequence, something like sequence. So I in 1 to 6. So 1, which print square. So 2. Cap is a symbol, we choose to provide power. So I power 2. B equal to I power 2. I square in the instance I square. So it's print 1 square 1, 2 square 2, 3 square 9, 4 square 16, 5 square 25 and 6 square 36. So it's a basic user defined function and the function call. So the function call like this, new dot function, the function name of parameter. So the function call and passing a parameter as, passing an argument as 6. So which will be print the squares of that value, squares of the sequence. User defined functions. 1 second, please. Sorry. So user defined function. So these are the very base. So base of R programming. Now we are directly entering into data analytics. So this is the base. So R programming. So statistical tool. You can download RKit and install into your machine. And for data types as well as functions and looping as well as conditional statement. This is for base of R programming. So now R which also supports strings. So string can specify either double quotes, single quotes. So it can specify anywhere. So single quotes inside single quote, A equal to start and end of single quote, start and end of double quote, single quote in between double quotes. So double quotes in between single quote. So these are some different representation of strings. So anyway, string can represent either inside single quote or double quotes. It's supported in R programming. String can specify either in single quotes or double quotes in R programming. So vectors. So vector is a normal data value. So yeah, vector of a character, vector of a double, integer, logical. So this is now not required. So vectors. So last one, the base of R programming. The last one, which is named as list. So list data, list of, I'm giving a collection of data. So red, green, then the constant of collection of data 21, 32, and 11, then true, then 51.23. So you can specify string, number, vectors, and logical value. So a list is a group, or it's a container. The container which comprising of any kind of data type. So you can specify anything. Similar way you can specify matrix too. List also, similar way you can specify matrix too. Matrix also you can specify matrix array. Yeah, the last one. Now I am entering into data analytics. So before entering into data analytics, there is one more tool which is named as data frames or data frames. A data frame is a table, it's a grid view. Data frame is a grid view. It's a two-dimensional grid view, two-dimensional array-like structure. It provides two-dimensional array-like structure. So which is like a table. So it is acting similar like a table. So the column name should be empty, or row name should be unique. The row name always should be unique. The data stored in data frame in numeric factor on character type. So it's a column based approach. Please see the here. So I am creating a data frame. So employee.data is a variable name. Data.frame employee.id equal to 1 to 5. So employee ID 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then employee name something Rick, Dan, Michael, Ryan, and Gary. So employee name. Then salary, I am specifying the salary. Then start date, I am specifying the list of dates. So yes. So I am printing employee.data. I am printing employee.data, which will be printed in a tabular representation. So data frame which used to provide a table of data. It's a container which used to represent a table of data. Data frame is a container which used to represent a frame or table of data or grid of data, something like that. Now, yeah. So for working on data analytics, R which has collection of library. Please see here. R packages are a collection of R functions. R packages are has a collection of R functions. It's a compiled code and a sample data. It's comprising of a compiled code and a sample data. They are stored under a directory called as library. They are stored under a directory called as library. So you can install a package and then you can directly work on that. You can install the required package and then working on R environment. So R packages which comprising of collection of list text function which supported for data analytics. Similar way, R packages which also hold collection of data too. The predefined data set which is also available in R packages. You can download the package and then you can use it. Okay, fine. Now, the first one. For read a CSV file. If your inputs are stored in CSV, all are more familiar about the buzzword, which is called a CSV, comma separated value. So you can read a CSV file. There is a method named as read.csv, input.csv. So which print the entire CSV file data in the console. Yes, data tends to read.csv or input.csv. So the entire data stored in input.csv file, the entire data stored in input.csv file, which will be downloaded or which will be stored in a variable called as data. Data is an array, container array. So print data, which will print the result, something like that. So here, which will print the data. It's a input.csv file. The data are separated by comma. Please see here. The data are separated by comma. Input.csv file. So data is separated by comma. Here the data are printed like this. So automatically it will be directly map your input CSV file into a variable. Read.csv is a method We choose to, even single line is enough. Read.csv is a method which choose to directly map your CSV data, into a variable. Now, XLS, either XLS or XLSX. Currently DOCX, something like that. So the package merged with XML for optimization. So here also there is a method called as read.xlsx. Then input.xlsx is a function file. Sheet index for your file, you can read the first sheet. So sheet index is 1. So the data are stored in a variable data. Then you can print the data, which will print the results, complete result. So read.csv, we choose to read the entire content of a CSV file. Read.xlsx, we choose to read the entire content directly from Excel packages, directly from Microsoft Excel packages. It's widely used format. So another widely used format, XML, extensible markup language, ASCII supported format. So you can read using a method called as XML parse. You can read using a method called as XML parse. The XML path method, please listen carefully. The XML path method, which available inside a library called as XML. So it is available inside a library called as XML. So for executing this, you can download a library XML. So go to menu package. Go to menu package and click install package. We choose to list thousands of packages. We choose to list, go to menu package and then click install package. We choose to list all the 1000 or 1500 packages in our program. You can search XML and then just install. After installing that, you can use library XML. Similar way, you can need another package called as methods. So go to menu package and then install package and then methods. So you can install methods. So now it's very easy for reading XML file. So our programming, which directly support CSV reading, XLS, that is Microsoft Excel package reading, and then XML file reading. CSV, Microsoft Excel file package reading, as well as XML file reading. So our programming, which entirely supported for the basic activity. Now it's supported for data analytics too, please. So R is an excellent visualization tool. R is an excellent visualization tool. So we choose to provide a pie chart. So pie of, I'm not waste time. So pie of is a method we choose to provide a pie chart. So here example, X tends to C of 21, 62, 10 and 53. Then label as London, New York, Singapore and Mumbai. PNG, there is a file named as city.png. Pi of X comma label. Pi of X comma label. So London has 21, then New York has 62, then Singapore has 10 and Mumbai has 53. So it will print something like that. Then development of save the file. Dev.off, so the file was generated, PNG file was generated, and you save the file in the extension city.png. That's all. So which create a graphical representation, which provide a. So our programming is supported for statistical analysis, visualization. At last, we supported for reporting. So R supported for statistical analysis, graphical representation, and reporting. So R which also provide a bar chart. So first one for pie chart, now for bar chart. So which offer same something like that, same bar chart. So which also provide histogram. There is a method called as histog, which choose to provide histogram. This is a basic overview of R programming. In that R programming, even a single line is enough to plot a data analytic methods. So yeah, I'm not wasting meanwhile video. Okay. Now I am entering into the first and base of linear regression. So data analytics, first and base, which is called as linear regression. All are more familiar about regression analysis. It's a very widely used statistical tool to establish a relation between two variables. So regression just establishing a relation between height and weight. So something like that, two variables. So one of these variables, which is called as predictor variable, whose value is gathered through experiments. So other variable, which is called as response variable, whose value is derived from the predictor value. So I'm giving a basic mathematical representation of linear regression. So y equal to mx plus c. Y is the response value, x is the predictor value, and a and b, mx plus c, m and c are constant. Okay. Now the steps is not required. Now I am entering into the basic method. So linear regression, which is achieved by our LM. LM is a method, please listen carefully. LM is a method we choose to offer linear model. LM is a method we choose to offer linear model. Please, I'm giving two datas. One which will be called as x tends to c of the height of the people. Y tends to c of the weight of the people. X tends to c of height of the people. Y tends to c of weight of the people. Then relation tends to LM of y tilde symbol x. Relation tends to LM of y tilde symbol x. Print relation. So we choose to find the coefficient, something like a and b. Now I will predict the data. So predict object comma new data. So I am passing a tends to data frame of x equal to 170. Result, print the predict relation. Relation is a linear model. A is a data. So print the result. So it will print the result. If a person height is 180, 170, then their weight is 76. Please listen carefully 1 second. After installing the R, so the R, not R Studio, R, the R GUI is something like this. So just it open a console. So in that console, I will type something 2 plus 3. So it will print 5. I'm testing print of test. So it will print test. Then for verification, I will type my string tends to double quotes hello. My string tends to double quotes hello. Then which will stored in my string of. Now I will print of my string. Print of my string, which will print hello. So this is the basic console. So just download the RStudio software and install it into your PC, then which displays something like that. Now I will write a script. So file, new script. So I will paste my linear model. (150, 171, 138, 186, 128, etc. Then y is the variable which hold the value 63. So if height is 151, then weight is 63. If height is 174, then weight is 81. Something linear model. So the linear model, which is with the relation tends to LM is a linear model. LM is a method for executing linear regression. So LM of y tilde symbol x. So linear model is executed. Now I am creating a new data frame. A tends to data dot frame of x equal to 170. So the variable, the height value is 170. Then result tends to predict of, predict is a method we choose to predict the relation. So predict relation comma A. So relation is a linear model. A is a value of 170. Then which print the result. If sorry, if a person height was 170, then the model was predicted their weight as something like different. So I will say the file as something s.r. Now I will go to the menu edit and run all. So execute and print the result as 76.22. If a person height was 100, I am edit run all. Then weight was 29. If a person height was something like 190, then I am execute it again. Now the weight was 89. So you can easily predict the result. You can easily predict the result. via linear model. So you can give X and Y value and use a method called as LM of. LM is a method which used to create a linear model. Then you can plot X value and print the Y value. This is a basic linear model representation. So this is the basic way of working on R environment. Now I'm entering into the basic data analytical process. So the first and foremost, the base of R programming was linear regression. So you can give X and Y value and then use the method called as LM of. LM is a method which used to establish a linear model. Then you are passing a value 170 is a height, then which automatically predicts the value of X. This is for linear regression. For visualization, please see here. For visualization, I am printing the same in a graphical representation. So plot representation, plot of something like different. So I will plot it. So if the value is 151, if the value is 151, then the weight value. So you can plot all those points and then LM which will construct a line. So you can plot all the points, then LM which construct a line. So if you give a height something 170, which automatically, if it touches in a line, which automatically predict the weight value. If it's 190, which is the weight value. So this is what linear regression works. So you can visually view the view of linear regression too. So similar way. Sorry, 1 second, please.
So, Raj,
Sorry, sir.
no problem.
Yeah. So linear regression. So the first one, for you are providing X and Y value and the relation was linear model, then you can predict the result. Then the same thing which visualize via a plot of method. So similar way, all kind of methods, all kind of data analytics process was achieved via a single line. So LM is a single line which choose to provide linear regression. So something like that. A multiple regression, please listen, multiple regression. So same thing. So here, that A equal to A plus BX or CX. Here A plus B1X, B2X, BNX. So it's having multiple features. So LM of Y tilde symbol, instead of X, here X1 is the first variable, X2 is the second variable, second feature. X3 is the third feature. I'm giving example, please. Yeah. Input tends to empty cars is a data set. So it's a default data set available in R programming. So input tends to empty cars of, inside that I'm taking displacement, horsepower, weight, MPG, etc. etc. So I'm taking only 4 columns and then I take print head of input. So I take sample values. So okay. So for instead of providing direct input, I'm taking input from empty cars data set. So input tends to empty cars of, I'm providing 4 columns. So input tends to empty cars of the 4 values. Then model tends to LM of MPG tilde symbol displacement plus horsepower plus weight. Data equal to inputs. So same thing which is performed via multiple features, but the height which directly related with weight. But here, MPG is related with displacement, horsepower, and weight. MPG is related with displacement, horsepower, and weight. So this is the basic process. So everything was same, which supported for multiple features. This is for multiple regression. Now I'm entering into the next one, logistic regression. It's not required. I'm entering into decision tree. Just for two more things. One for decision tree and random forest and the matrix. So decision tree. For decision tree example, I'm taken a package as install package party. Install package party. So I'm installing a party package and then I use the method which will be called a C-tree. C-tree is a method which choose to invoke. C-tree is a method which choose to invoke a decision tree. Okay, fine. Now, yeah. So after installing, go to the menu install and then click party. The party package was installed. Then use the method called as library party. So the complete party package along with its data which is taken. Then print head of reading skills. So the entire column was printed, something like that. Native speaker, yes or no, age, shoe size, and a score. So this is a table reading skills which is available inside a party package. This is a table reading skills available inside party package. So I am reading the package, library party, print head of reading skill. So I am reading entire data from party package in the variable called as reading skills. So the package which comprising of it's a classification. So whether he is a native speaker or not based on age, shoe size as well as score. So I'm printing a decision tree. So library party input.dat is a variable reading skills of 1 to 105. Just I'm taking raves from first 105 data. So I'm printing a decision tree. So PNG file equal to decision tree. Output.tree equal to, please see this line only. Output.tree equal to C tree of native speaker. Native speaker is my result. That is why. So tilde symbol, age plus shoe size plus score. There I am using LM of. Here I am using native C tree of, decision tree of. So decision tree which comprising of actually two variables. So here there is a multiple features are merged together. So output.tree which tends to C tree of native speaker tilde symbol age plus shoe size plus score, comma data equal to input.dat, comma data equal to input.dat, plot output.tree, plot output.tree. So this is a way. So library party input.dat, reading skills of C1 to 105. Then output.tree tends to C tree, that is decision tree of native speaker tilde symbol age plus shoe size plus score. So data equal to input.dat. So which will construct a decision tree something like this, which can construct a decision tree something like this. So based on the age, then score as well as score. So which construct a decision tree. So whether he is a native speaker or not. So if your data was 1,000 or lakhs and lakhs, in a fraction of a second, it automatically constructs a decision tree. So decision tree which provides something a better result, but even a single tree is not enough for providing a good result. So the random forest. So next one, which is called as random forest. So random forest is another excellent method. Random forest is another excellent method. You can construct a multiple tree based on the observation, based on epoch. You can, based on the epoch, you can get the best result. So which tree was best fit to you? So for random forest example, so it's a last example. I will complete in 10 to 15 minutes. So sharply at 3:50. So install the R package. So here for random forest, you install a package which will be called as install packages. The name of the package is random forest. You can install the package. The name of the package is random forest. So the random forest package was installed. So just go to the menu install packages and then click on random forest. So the random forest, complete random forest package was installed in your PC. After that, you can read library party. So the party package was read. and then head, and then head reading skills of. So same way. So entire thing was printed. Now library party, library random forest, output dot forest equal to random forest of native speaker tilde symbol, age plus shoe size plus score. Data tends to reading skills. Same thing. First one LM of, second one C3 of, third one random forest of. But the efficiency was improved. You are using RStudio. The methodology, everything was same. Everything was same classification. Initially, you are using LM for linear model. Second, you are using C3. Third, you are using random forest. So even a single word change, the R programming which efficiently provide data analytics. So this is the basic overview of data analytics in R programming. So at last I ended with some basic systematic with a real-time example. So very basic systematic with real-time example. Please listen carefully just for 10 minutes. So confusion matrix, accuracy, precision, and recall, and F1 score. These are the very much essential for evaluating the performance of a machine learning model. Confusion matrix, accuracy, and precision, recall, and F1 score. These are the excellent metrics which used for finding the performance of a machine learning model or performance of any algorithm. So it's very essential. Please listen carefully. Just for a real-time example. So I'm giving an example, a problem statement. So always this real-time problem statement was that. So let us consider a task to classify a person is pregnant or not pregnant. If the test for pregnancy is positive, person is pregnant, or otherwise it's negative, so not pregnant. So this is a problem statement which was given. So now we are entering into the machine learning algorithm, any machine learning algorithm, either for linear model or for C3 or for something called as random forest. That's not a problem. So you can analyze this problem. So there are 4 categories. The category number 1, see the picture. The category number 1, the person was pregnant. So the system identifies it correctly, you are pregnant. So that's called as true positive. So a person was pregnant, system also identified it correctly and says you are pregnant. So it's called as true positive. The next one, a person was not pregnant, system also correctly identify, system also correctly classify he is not pregnant. Person is not pregnant, system also correctly identify not pregnant. Then that's called as true negative. So true positive and true negative are the best state. Now, a person having big belly, but system wrongly identified you are pregnant. A person having big belly, so system wrongly identified you are pregnant. So that's called as false positive. False positive. So positive but wrong, false positive. So the person was pregnant, but system wrongly identified you are not pregnant. So that's called as false negative. A person is pregnant, but system wrongly identified false negative. So these are the 4 states. I'm taking an example. I'm selecting 100 people. So under that, I'm taking 100 people. Under that, 40 are pregnant, 60 are not pregnant. Taking 100 people. Among that, 40 are pregnant, 60 are not pregnant. So take this example. So there are 4 classifications: true negative, false positive, false negative, true positive. So 4 classification. I'm entering a predicting label. So the same. So if person is not pregnant, system identified not pregnant. That's called as true negative. That state is correct. Person is pregnant, system identified pregnant. So that's also correct. So person having big belly, system identified wrongly. So person is pregnant, but system identified wrongly not pregnant. So if these 2 cases are raised. So this is for a confusion matrix. This is for a confusion matrix. So here my example. So true negative is 55. Among 60 candidates, 55 candidates, system correctly identified. But 5 candidates, system wrongly identified. Among the 40, system wrongly identified 10, correctly identified 30. So that's the thing. So 55 system correctly identified, 30 system correctly identified. but 10 system wrongly identified. Here 5 system wrongly identified. So the result was, the accuracy was true negative plus true positive divided by true negative plus false positive plus true positive plus false negative. That's 55 plus 30 divided by 55 plus 5 plus 30 plus 10. So the accuracy was 85%. So always you are using this accuracy variable. Always you are using this accuracy variable for predicting the result. So 85% result. 85% accuracy was provided. But you think about this. If accuracy is the best measure for any kind of classification, accuracy is the best measure. I'm giving another example. Please listen carefully. Consider the following scenario. There are 90 people who are healthy. 90 people are healthy. It's a negative. Okay. 10 people are having some disease. So the system used to identify 10 people having disease or not. So I'm taking the sample as 100 people. Among that, 90 people are healthy people. Only 10 people are diseased people. Think about this scenario. Now, the true negative, all the healthy people, system identified he is healthy. Think about that. All the 90 people, system identified he is healthy. Okay. Then false positive is 0. False negative, all the 10 diseased people, system says he is also healthy. So totally, and please listen carefully, totally 100 people, 90 people are healthy. System says healthy. 10 people having disease, but system saying healthy. So now system was totally wrong because all the 100 people are healthy. System says something like this. But the result was 90 here, 90 true negative, 10 false negative. So the formula goes here, 90 plus 0 divided by 90 plus 10. So system provides 90% accuracy. So if the data was imbalanced, please listen carefully. If the data was imbalanced, healthy was 90, but disease was 10. So imbalanced data set. If the data set was imbalanced, in that situation, in that case, accuracy is not a best measure. So if the data was imbalanced, in that case, accuracy is not a best measure. So you can take another best measure for this process. So that is precision. So another best measure for this problem, that's called as precision, recall, and F1 score. Another measure named as precision, recall, and F1 score. So precision, so true positive divided by true positive plus false positive. Here precision score. So the precision score was 0.857. Precision score was 0.857. So recall, true positive divided by true positive plus false negative. So here 0.75. So at last you can find the F1 score. F1 score equal to 2 multiplied precision in recall divided by precision plus recall. So you can find the value as 79% accuracy. So if the data, please listen carefully. If the data set was imbalanced, you can use something precision, recall, and F1 score metrics. So all those metrics are single functions available in R programming. So it's very easy for calling that method too. So this is a small overview. So this is a small overview of data analytics using R programming. I'm summarizing everything. So start from an intro. So very small intro on R programming. So R is entirely it's a complete framework. It's a pure object-oriented framework which used for statistical analysis and then visualization, at last for data reporting. In that R programming, you can download 2 packages, one which will be called as R, another package which will be named as R Studio. So R package, it's comprising of the entire rich text library. R Studio is just an IDE for compiling a program. In that basic R programming, the array as well as list and then several operators, several data types, different naming representation, different variable representation, everything was base of R programming. After that, the data analytics R, which comprising of a collection of rich text function, the one function which will be called as LM, which used to represent linear regression, multiple regression, logistic regression, Poisson regression, etc., etc. Second one, which is called as decision tree, even a single function which will be called as C tree of, which used to construct a decision tree. Random forest, even a single function which will be called as random forest of, which used to construct a random forest of. System metrics, here you are using confusion matrix. So if you are finding accuracy, if the data set was imbalanced, accuracy is not the best measure. So in that situation, you can use precision, recall, and F1 score. This is a basic overview of statistical tool or programming. It's very much helpful for data analytics. So it's very easy and user friendly as well as open source software. So it's very much helpful for your research work too. So these are all the plans for this session.